And we don't only need the right regulators and the right tools, we need also the right people, right?
Of course, of
And
course.
and I think about one of the most beautiful segments of this podcast when we go back to leadership, because I do believe that people make the difference at the end of the day. And I want to go back to you because you're somebody who's not only very smart, but also very strong.
Thank
And knowing you the way I know you, I want to know when you took this role in CINET, what was one of the biggest obstacles that you saw? Maybe one of the things that, I don't know, gave you a bit of chills. You said, oh my God.
you. When I took on Signet, and it's almost 2 years now that I've kind of taken on this honor of leading the credit bureau of Kuwait. I think it was the big challenge was reframing the company, not just as I said, as a traditional bureau, but as a modern bureau that does much more than credit report. And with that comes a lot of expectation of the shareholder, of the stakeholder, of the regulator. Managing stakeholders, honestly, is the toughest part in somebody in my position to ensure that to align people on the same expectation is really hard, because every part of the puzzle when it comes to credit bureau, the customers want something, the shareholder wants something else, and the regulator has certain mandates and rules that we have to go by. And I think my background before coming into CINET as a chief data officer, so I worked for a few years, and even before, as people who work in data, they're always using data to tell a story and influence decision.
Yes.
And when you use data to create that narrative and make sure that you influence decision or convince people of doing something. I'm always going to the board trying to secure some big, funds for a big project for my next big portfolio. Or I'm going to the regulator seeking approval for, adopting cloud or things like new things that are into the market. So when you're trying to introduce new things to make, to be a change maker in the market, it's hard. But I think being a storyteller, that key skill that I got from being in data for so long, I was able to draw the right narrative, draw the right story, to influence people's decisions or align them with the agenda that I have, to ensure that they see the picture the way I want them to see it, but also realize that there is value to them and to everyone in our stakeholder circle. And even if sometimes they don't agree with it for their own kind of agenda or their own priorities, but it makes sense to bigger priorities. And I always kind of draw the narrative that it's not about CINET or the customers or the shareholders, it's about Kuwait. And when it's about Kuwait, I think everybody kind of take a step back and think about the bigger picture. Once you draw that picture and it's about how do we make positive changes on the credit landscape of Kuwait, I think everybody will be on board.
Yes, true. I like what you said, because I always say no matter what your job is on paper, your role is sales, because we're constantly selling something to somebody, an idea, whatever. It's always about convincing somebody of something else.
Definitely.
But looking at your job and again at the mission that the credit bureau has, how hard it is to make unpopular decisions.
I mean, it's very, very hard, because, like I said, everything could affect kind of a bigger. It's not about just a small company. We are, as a size, we're a small company in size, but we're big in impact. So any decisions have to be blessed by the regulator, have to be kind of bringing positive impact to everybody. We have to study so much data points before ensuring that we have kind of made the right decision or rolled the right product. Like I said, when I was thinking about the tenant profile or tenant report and doing that for real estate, we have to consider how many people are they going to be able to rent the right apartments? Are they going to be kind of losing where they live or something? So there's always these impacts that you have to study and analyze. And the beauty, again, about being in data is that you're so good at analyzing data and studying and revising the impact, and then ensuring that you do your study once and twice and thrice until you make the right kind of well-informed decision, and a data-driven decision always.
Do you feel that there's any lingering gender bias when we talk specifically about these analytical roles, let's say, it's specific industries.
Funny enough, when I was in the States, I saw more ladies in data than gentlemen. And I think data by itself draws ladies more than, I don't know, maybe we as ladies, we look into the details more.
We're overthinkers. Don't judge us for that.
But when I looked at the last time we were at the Arab Monetary Fund, out of the 6 GCC countries, 3 of these 6 GCC bureaus, 3 of them were led by ladies.
Okay.
So there is great gender balance when it comes to leading the bureau with a lady, and I think it just draws us more. Back when I was in technology, pure technology, I was always the only lady in the room, and it was tough. It was always tough. I didn't see that in data. It's interestingly enough, and I think there was enough people or ladies in data that slowly grow and provided the right pipeline for them to lead these agencies.
May, when you look at your career with CINET, and I'm sure that it's going to continue being a successful one, what do you hope it's going to be the biggest impact you're going to have with CINET, and what you hope to leave behind you?
I think one of the biggest, and it's our vision really, and one of the visions that when I came on board, kind of we had to revise the vision and put that bigger kind of dream, is that CINET will be the pioneering data hub of Kuwait. And when I say data hub, I don't just say credit data. There's much more than just credit. It's data that we put to provide insights. And as a pioneering data hub, we hope to inform decisions, many decisions, not just financial decisions. We are unlocking kind of the economy and supporting the overall economy, because with the speed of decisions, we need faster decisions right now. Everything is going digital. There is a lot of digitization, AI, all of that. You need the bureau right there to give you the right decisions. And what I hope to be is that for CINET to turn that data into value, to ensure that we are enabling responsible lending, that we are enabling financial inclusion, that we are able to help the economy grow and ensure that it is part of the overall economy of Kuwait.
May, I don't think you could have said it more beautifully. And knowing that you're also Kuwaiti and you're somebody who cares deeply about the future of the country, it gives me great joy to see that we have so many people who are involved and understand so well their mission.